Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Vincent, it's an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot.
I love how dynamic and complex a lot of the characters you played in the past are, to the point where they make us think about their motives and whether they're misunderstood. And we get this a lot with this project as well. So I'm just curious if there was anything about this character compared to other projects that was different for you working on Liaison specifically.
Well, they're all different one from another, that's for sure. And, you know, depending on the type of show it is and the kind of story, you know. With this one in particular, I wanted to come up with somebody, you know, I wanted the character to be really French, you know. I'm a big fan of Jean Gabin and Yves Montand and you know, all those guys from the old school French cinema. And they had this masculinity full of flaws, and I wanted the character to be something like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, je parle français aussi. So I know that it's crazy too, because I'm wondering if you're conscious of this when you're filming the show, because I feel like a lot of this happens after. But Liaison it's edge of your seat thriller like the whole time, and you really have to be dialed in. And there's different audiences these days, passive audiences and active audiences. Do you think about the fact that this audience has to be like an active detective the whole time while you're thinking of it, or do you think about that after you find out people watching? Like, I'm curious about that, because you really have to be dialed in for a show like this as an audience member.
Well, I don't know, but I think there's so many entertaining kind of movies, you know, that are suddenly, I mean, that are really made for kids, maybe grown-up kids. But you see, there's a tendency to entertain people without having them thinking about anything. And to me, this is kind of bland, you know, and kind of a little dull in a way. And so to make something that is available to you know, to an adult way of thinking, so it can be more like a kind of a mirror, you know. Because what you think about a character really is a reflection of who you are, let's face it, you know. Whether you like him or you hate him, you know, it's more how you position yourself, you know, in life.
Yeah, no, totally. That is so well said. And Vincent Cassel is a storyteller. That's what you do. Is the best thing about being a storyteller diving into all these different worlds? Is that one of the best things you like the most about it?
I don't know. You know, being an actor is, I always thought that it wasn't really a job. It's more a way of living in a way, you know, because you recycle everything you go through in your life. And by the way, I think that the most important movies you see are the ones you see before you're an adult, because they help you to understand what your life is going to be. After a certain age, I think your life becomes more interesting, and whatever you've been through is more powerful than any kind of fiction. So after a certain age, I think you need something that is a little richer, you know, a little denser. And so I like to jump from one thing to the other. I just made Asterix and Obelix, which is a cartoon adaptation, and now I do this. And, you know, the truth is that I'm trying to have fun, not to be bored.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's so well said. Liaison is premiering globally on Apple TV Plus February 24th. Vincent, it was an honor and privilege to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.